Good afternoon, everyone, and this is Barry's match report for the Manchester United-Newcastle United match, which took place last night. Due to getting in from work quite late, I didn't really have a chance to make all the notes that I normally do and go through in detail, all the decent parts of the action. So I am doing it from memory, which might be a little bit more explicit than usual because very frustrating game in the end. So let's just discuss the action straight away. On 30, up to 30 minutes, Man United looked like they were struggling. They didn't look like they had any form coming into that game. We were pressing high. We were creating some chances. I mean, not clear-cut chances. I know Almiron had a shot from distance, which was saved quite comfortably, but we actually looked like we were taking the game to them, which was a bit of a surprise to me because I was expecting to be on the back foot straight away. The formation surprised me as well because it did look like a 4-3-3, which was something we didn't expect. We expected 5 at the back. But credit to Bruce for the first 30 minutes because we did look like we were doing all right. That's the only credit he's going to get for the rest of the game. So on 30 minutes, Rashford got the ball down the left-hand side. I said to a lot of friends at work, and they were Man United fans, I said, if you attack down our right-hand side with Kraft, you will get in, you will get chances, and you will more likely score goals. And I predicted 3-4, 5-0, to be honest with you, so it was a little bit better than expected. But yeah, so left-hand side, he squared Kraft up, he megged him, got past him. Kraft managed to get back, and instead of showing him down on his left foot, down onto the bar line, he let him cut inside him again, which is just poor defending. You just don't do that with a player of his quality. So when he got inside the box, he smashed a shot in Darlow's bottom left-hand corner. So Rashford's right, keeper's near post, beaten again. Now, I'm sorry, Darlow, you've been excellent, but for me, it's time for you to sit back on the bench. You are a number 2. De Bruyne is our number 1. Dubs should be in goal. You never saw Peter Schmeichel sit on the bench after an injury, did you, when you come back to full fitness? You play your best goalkeeper. Now, back in the day, Darlow was a number 3 or a number 4. And when the start of the season came and I realised that, he was going to be on number 2, I was worried for De Bruyne for getting injured. Now, credit to where credit's due. That lad has outperformed what I believe is his actual standard. So, he gets all the plaudits for that, but he's starting to make mistakes, and those mistakes are costing goals because up to 30 minutes, Man United didn't look like they were going to score. A mistake from Kraft, a mistake from Darlow puts them 1-0 up. So please, Bruce, get De Bruyne back in goal and get Mantua fit. However you do it, get him fit because that can't keep on happening. So again, heads went down a little bit, but there was fight in the team still, which was good to see. So, we still pressed high. We won a few corners, and from a corner, ball got looped to the back post. It got headed out, and ASM with a first-time shot that we called a dum-de-dum back in the day, absolutely nailed it into the ground, and it flew into the top corner. There was no way De Gea was saving that. Just a great control, and it shows you what ASM can offer. And at 1-1 going into the break, I felt we missed an opportunity because if we hadn't conceded, we might have been going into that game, into the second half 1-0 up and putting pressure on Man United. But instead, the pressure was on ourselves because it was 1-1. We were defending a draw rather than defending a lead. And unfortunately, again, after 57 minutes, Man United went back ahead again. And for me, this was shocking defending from Lewis. I mean, the ball was down the left-hand side. Lewis looked over his shoulder twice and knew James was there, but he still got attracted to the ball and he left them with 5 yards of space inside the box when the ball finally landed to James's feet. I know it took a bit of a deflection away of Lewis, but if Lewis was marking the correct man in the correct position, he would have intercepted that pass and James wouldn't have been in. And once he got the ball under control, he smashed it into the bottom right-hand corner. Darlow came running out to try and close the angle, but the shot was fierce and it was in the bottom corner with no problem. So that put them 2-1 up. And then the controversy of the penalty. Now, I looked at it a few times and I thought he's dived, but then I looked at the players' reactions. Now, I never saw one player complaining saying go into VAR and have a look. they looked like they accepted it was a penalty. Now that's one of two things: either one, they've completely given up, the heads are down, they don't want to argue about it, just give them the penalty, let them get on with it, let's get the game over and done with, and let's move on to the next fixture with a loss. Or two, Willock has said he's touched him, and I would like to go down that line that it was a foul. Unfortunately, the lads put in a last-ditch dive and tackle, which he probably could have avoided doing, especially when you're in the box like that. Rashford's got quick feet. I still think he's made the most of it, but I do think there's contact there, and I think that's why the players didn't really complain and didn't ask for it to go to VAR, and the checks were done anyway, and they says it was a penalty. So Fernandez puts the ball on the spot, does his normal little slow run up to it. What was Darlow doing, jumping out forward? That was to try and save it. I don't understand his tactics there. It was either he was trying to get off the line quickly so that the penalty could be retaken again, and he kind of had an idea where Fernandez was going. But again, Fernandez very rarely misses from the penalty spot. I think he's got a 95% hit rate of scoring penalties for Man United since he joined them. And the worst thing about Fernandez as well, being at Man United, is apparently Rafa Benitez, the man that we need back at our club, singled him out as a player for Newcastle. And Ashley said no, because there could have been a lawsuit with getting the player and then having to pay compensation for him. And look how much he's worth now. Once again, another Ashley terrible decision of not backing a world-class manager when he wanted a certain player. But there you are, there you have it. Shocking. So that was the game. That was it. It was 3-1. We huffed and puffed a little bit, and the next a few minutes, I want to talk about the substitutions. I really do. I mean, this is where Bruce has lost it for me. I've heard rumours he's had a falling out with the Longstaffs because he criticised one of them after a game and says it was their fault for losing it. He's lost the dressing room because of it, and the Longstaffs aren't going to get a game at all unless everyone else is injured. So that tells you how bad of a man manager he is. This guy needs to get out of our club, and it proves it in the substitutions. The first one was Joe Linton went off with a back injury by the looks of things. Hopefully that's him out for the rest of the season. I know some people will probably say, well, there's a good player in there. And I said, well, there might be, but I've not seen it, and I don't think 95% of the fan base have seen it. I think Joe Linton is best sitting in the changing rooms waiting for the game to be over and cheering on the lads. He'd probably make a good cheerleader. And Fraser came on, which was, I thought, why Fraser now? Why not Gale? I know Gale, again, is in my eyes, is a standard championship striker. He's an excellent championship striker. In fact, he helped us get promoted with his goals. But you need someone up top who knows how to run the line. Bringing Fraser on didn't work. Not been impressed with him since he's come back from injury, but again, he still could be finding his feet again and coming back, and we might see the best of him in the next few games when he gets more minutes under his belt, hopefully, because we need his pace, and I want to see him in the team. Then the next substitution was just the end of the game for me. He was obviously protecting the player. ASM came off. He thought it was game over. There's no point in continuing with him on the pitch. Save him for the Wolves game, and he brought Murphy on. Again, I think Murphy's a very good championship player. I don't think he's Premiership class. And that's just, I think his brother's a little bit better, to be honest with you. I think we got the wrong Murphy, but the lad always tries. I mean, he can put a good ball in, don't get me wrong, but it's not often enough for me. And then again, the final nail in the coffin when he brung Almiron off and finally brung Gale on. Why didn't he bring Gale on first? And then bring Fraser on for Almiron later on. I will never know. Steve Bruce's tactical nous, his ability to make a decent substitution, it's just not there, is it? He's out of his depth. It's time for him to go. It's not going to happen because he's still picking up a paycheck, and Ashley won't pay the compensation to get rid of him. It's a really sorry state of affairs at our club at the moment. 3 points above the relegation zone now because of this defeat. We've got a superior, worse goal difference to Fulham. So Fulham win the next game and we lose ours, we're in the bottom three. And figures show from when McLaren was in charge, we're literally at the same stage as we were when we went down last time. Now, if alarm bells aren't ringing in Charney's ears, who needs to get a lot of stick as well, by the way, because he's the man who's meant to be running this football club for Ashley. and I've not heard from them. No one's heard from them. It's pathetic. Yeah, we're going to talk to the fans, and they never do. So these are the three guys that need to be out of our football club. We need to get rid of Bruce, we need to get rid of Charney, and then we need to get rid of Ashley. The takeover needs to happen. Any takeover where someone wants to put a bit of money into the club, who sees the potential to grow this club. We need that ASAP. We've got Wolves next at home. I'm not confident because Wolves have started to look like they're back to themselves again. We've got to hope they have an off day. We've got to hope that we perform to a high level. And then, fingers crossed, we can get a win. I'm not going to do player ratings because Almiron was my man of the match. ASM was great as well. We're knocked on the door a little bit, but the rest of the lads did all right. And then you obviously got Kraft and you've got Lewis and Darlow, who unfortunately were below par. So I don't want to keep putting them down because they're trying to do a job. They're trying their best. It's just not working. We need changes and we need them fast. If you like my content, please follow me on Twitter. I do follow back every single NUFC fan. I'd obviously want to debate and talk about football as much as possible with all of you. Please subscribe to my channel. My new show is Know Your Fans. Did our first episode. It seemed to go down well. Had two great lads on who I've known for a long time, and I've got a hell of a lot more people lined up as well to come on and talk about their NUFC history and talk about the good times and put a smile on our faces, because that's what we need right now. So please subscribe. Please, retweet this out if you don't mind. Just anything to help me grow the channel, because it's a lot of fun. It's helping fighting the mental block and mental health and all this sort of stuff. It's not been great for everyone, and this has really given me a new lease of life as well. So it's given me something extra to do. So I'm really enjoying it, and I want to keep doing it as long as people want to listen to me. And so please interact, please drop messages, and I will get back to you. And that's me signing off. Stay safe, everyone.